Hey, welcome back to day 12, I think, of Project Me. It has been, I think, 3 days since I've done a video, and definitely lacking on my part. Not entirely, definitely my fault yesterday, because I was going to do it in the morning, but I was like, oh no, I'll wait to do it in the evening, because I can talk about the day yesterday. But then I forgot in the evening, so fully my fault for that. So here I am now, ready to reflect on the last few days. So, I think the first day, so I last did a video on Wednesday, and so on Thursday what happened, I stayed home all day. I was just getting lots of work done. Yeah, so did lots of work on my assignments and my uni work, got some stuff out of the way, was able to catch up, and also found some notes from a previous student that really helped me get my head around some of the concepts we'd been discussing in class, which is really helpful, because the thing about law, specifically my torts law class, the thing is that all these concepts are all these different areas of law, there's different nuances between certain principles and claims that you can make, for example. They are so subtle, and it's really hard to wrap your head around all of them, much less conceptualize it all into like one big mind map, so to speak. So just wrapping my head around that was really good. I'm definitely not, there yet, but really good progress. I'm quite happy with that. I feel a little bit better now, which is probably the biggest part, because I think it doesn't, obviously it matters how much you actually know, but I think as long as you think you understand, then it becomes easier to understand, right? If you're stuck there thinking to yourself that I can't understand it, then it's much harder to wrap your head around something. So now I feel better about it, which is really good. And then after that, in the evening, I went around we had a play, Come to Wellington, based off the Broadway one. I can't remember the name. It's like something Pierre and the Comet of 1812. And it's based in part off an excerpt of Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace, that famous novel, which I've read and just love that novel. I mean, I'll leave you to do it yourself. Yeah, and sorry, I just had another thought occur to me, but went to that. Not normally my cup of tea, I suppose, but really enjoyed that. Maybe it's the company I was with. I went with a few friends, and then afterwards we went to the Irish pub and just played a few games of pool, and I got home really late, like 12:30 or something on a Thursday, weeknight. Me, a year and a half ago, would have been shocked, absolutely horrified at myself now. But here we are, so. But no, I had a really good time, actually. Yeah, definitely not I probably wouldn't go again, I don't think, unless it was something that actually interested me, like this play did. Just because it's not, I don't derive too much fun out of it, but I did enjoy myself last night. I did. So great to get out of the comfort zone and try something new, I suppose, which is good. Let's see, and then Friday, I continued Thursday's pattern, just did a lot of work during school day. What did I make on Friday for dinner? Oh, I made we don't have Panera in New Zealand, and of course growing up in the States, I'd eat, from Panera, Chipotle, Qdoba, none of which we have in New Zealand. And so I decided to rectify that on Friday by attempting to make a broccoli cheddar soup. I think it turned out pretty damn well for winging the recipe completely, and it tasted delicious. Absolutely fantastic. The only thing I would change is probably adding more cheese this time. I don't think it lived up to the cheddar part of the name, but it was pretty good. The broccoli and the chicken stock, major factors in how good it tastes. Of course, potatoes, releasing the flavors of the potatoes, also really handy. I added a bit of Parmesan, hoping it would not spice it up, but make the cheese flavor a bit stronger. But God, I think I didn't choose it, to be fair. My flatmates chose the worst brand of Parmesan to ever buy, like absolutely abhorrent, terrible Parmesan cheese. Like, you put it into melt and it turns into like this horrible really dense cheese. Like it's not melted. Well, it has from the parmesan you scrape off, but it hasn't melted into like that normal kind of creamy cheesy texture you would hope it to. So anyways, I'm not going to talk about that, but delicious soup, not going to lie. I was quite happy with that. Then after that I went to a wine and cheese party. Not a party, just a wine and cheese. It's supposed to be sophisticated, but it devolved into people getting drunk off wine. We'll talk about that in a minute because that's one of the things I wanted to talk about in my reflection. And then yesterday I finished an application. Actually, it's a scholarship or grant to get an internship in France. And so the French embassy here will pay for your trips to France, and they give you a stipend of 900 euros while you work there. And so I applied to that. It took a bit longer. Well, I haven't fully applied yet. I wrote the cover letter. I have everything else. I'm just waiting on a reference letter from someone before I fully turn in the application. But I wrote the cover letter for that in French. I thought that'd be a great way to stand out. I mean, I've been learning French for 15 years now or something, so I'd be shocked if I couldn't write a cover letter for it. I'd be disappointed. So I wrote it. Got that out of the way. Really, really good. Hope it distances me from some of the other candidates. What else did I do? Oh, right, just essay work, really. Trying to finish this China essay. The question is, China is a party state. How does that shape its foreign policy? I have 2,500 words to work with, including references in that. And it's not enough. The question, if you do humanities, or anyone with a knowledge of humanities will know that is an incredibly broad question. Very broad. And I'm going to go to my office hours with my lecturer this week and talk to him about the question, because I don't think you can properly answer that question in only 2,500 words. And it's supposed to be a research essay. I've done a tremendous amount of research. I've got maybe 40, 50 sources, all of which are very topical and relevant. So I think I'd like to get the word count extended. I understand there's a reason for a word count existing, both for my sake and for the teacher's sake. But I want to write this essay knowing I did a good job. And I don't think I can write a great... I mean, the essay will be fine regardless, but I would feel much better about myself knowing that I turned in something that was top quality, as opposed to I'll just write this essay because I have to. But I'm actually enjoying it. I put in a lot of work into this essay, and I'd hate to cut quite a bit out solely because of a word count. Like, I'm not a bad writer. I don't waffle. I'm very precise, or at least I hope I am. God, I hope I am. So I think it would be great both for me and for the lecturer to get a well-written essay. So anyways, worked on that today as well. That's pretty much all I've done today, actually, working on that essay. I'm nearly done. Hopefully should finish tomorrow. I'm hoping. I've done the last bit of my research, and I just need to write one last section of the essay before doing the conclusion and the references, which we'll get to. I use Chicago for social sciences here, and the problem right now is that Chicago University has put a paywall on the Chicago Manual Style Guide, which means that I can't use the guide to figure out how to reference my stuff, which is so bizarre. I think it's a new thing to begin with, but also it's like, well, why? Like, it's a style guide. It's people just going to create their own style guides if you put a paywall behind it. This long term, it's not feasible. I digress. It's not in the realm of something I really care to think about, but it is irritating, So, anyways, so the party, yeah. So, I just want to talk about. It's going to sound bad. It's not my behavior at the party. It's not shocking or anything. It's when I say behavior, I mean like social conduct, and really just in general how I interact with people. I want to start out by saying what I'm good at, which is I'm really good at remembering people's names. What did I do actually? I came back and I wrote down everyone's names that I met, and a bit of information about them just in case I meet them again. I can say hello and how's this, how's that. I'm really good about one-on-one things, meeting people, getting to know them, ask them questions. Very good at individual conversations like that. I am terrible in group conversations. I never speak. It's really, it does bother me, actually. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was my rate of speech, how fast I'm talking. Because I feel like I talk really, really fast. Not so much now, but when I'm in a conversation, out of my comfort zone, I speak really, really fast because maybe I'm nervous. But I think fundamentally it comes down to, despite what I tell myself, I am still very much a people pleaser sometimes. Not in certain things, but I am when I'm meeting people and I'm trying to get them to like me. It's not something I'm very happy with, because I want to just be able to sit there, kind of lean back and just have a conversation on my own merit, not so much me proving myself to them. And I think I need to remember that. I think I need to remember that I don't have to prove myself to anyone. If I want someone to like me, I'll just be me, But then who am I, really? That's something I think I'm still figuring out. I'm only 20. It feels like I'm so far behind in some ways, which is demotivating to some. I'm not trying to compare myself to others, but I just want to get on with my life. I don't want to be in university for 4 years for these 2 degrees, and then if I do a master's, even longer. I just want to get out and make my mark. So it is a little bit demotivating in that regard. Oh God, where was I? I'm just going to pause it while I remember, because I don't want to waste this time. Right, I think what I was getting at was that I just need to be me. And despite feeling left behind in some way, I do know I'm actually very far ahead compared to some other people, and that's fine. Everyone's going at their own pace. I just wish my pace was faster. I don't necessarily care what other people do, so long as it doesn't affect me. But I just want to feel like I'm moving quickly. I'm so over school at this point. I just want to get out there, man. Having said that, going back to the point, I do just want to sit back and be me, being able to engage in a conversation without feeling the pressure to get them to like me, without having to speak really quickly because I'm worried they don't really care what they say, which is it's not drama, but I've had experiences in the past. For example, in college, high school, for non-Kiwis out there, high school, I had a person in the friend group who was not a friend. He would cut me off every single time I opened my mouth. And so because of that, I learned to speak really, really quick to get what I wanted to say out there. And fast forward a few years, it's become this kind of internalized habit whenever I get nervous or in a large social setting, for example. So I speak really quick. And as a result of that, I stumble over my words quite a bit. And that drives me up the wall. I get so angry with myself when that happens. I need to remember to take a deep breath, lean back, and think to myself, what are you trying to prove? Absolutely nothing. If they want to be your friend, they'll prove themselves to you, right? If I want to be their friend, then I'll just, I'll be there for them, I'm not going to push myself in front of them, but I do want that. So that is something I wanted to talk about, my reactions and how I can get better in social settings. Just remembering to take it slow. I need to slow down in general, not just in social settings. I think a great rule of thumb for life is just take things slowly. Yeah, don't be in such a rush. Having said that, I just said I'm excited to get out into life. I'll make that the exception for me. But I mean, like, day-to-day life, you know, take things slowly. Don't be in a hurry to get everywhere. Don't be walking really quick all the time. Kind of relish what's around you. I know this contradicts what I said, but anyways. But I made some great connections at the Wine and Cheese. That was really cool. So looking forward to making use of that, and just some good people there. There were a few instances of they're all friends. I was the new guy in a way. Of some of the boys were touching each other inappropriately. And it happens. I mean, they're all drinking, and clearly they do it quite a bit, and it's all fine for them. It was new to me when one of them. I'm probably giving the wrong idea. Like, it was just a little spank when someone was dancing, for example. Nothing serious. It made me a little bit not uncomfortable. I mean, it was new to me, and hey, if they enjoy that, so be it. But it's not for me, that's for sure. But it was cool to meet some people like that, and just to put myself in a new situation. So yeah. Anyways, that is the self-reflection for today. Let's get on to Ryan Holiday's self-reflection with the Daily Stoic. Let's be real quick about this. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Today is the 5th of May. Oh, may the 4th be with you if you're in the States, although it's probably already midnight now. Anyways, May 5th. You are the project, and a quote by Epictetus. The raw material for the work of a good and excellent person is their own guiding reason. The body is that of the doctor, and the physical trainer, and the farm the farmers. Okay, I have no comment. Let's just get on with what Ryan Holiday has to say. Professionals don't have to justify spending time training or practicing their work. It's what they do, and practice is how they get good at it. The raw materials vary from career to career, just as the locations and duration vary depending on the person and the profession. But the one constant in the working of those materials, the gradual improvements and proficiency. According to the Stoics, your mind is the asset that must be worked on most and understood best. So it's related back to today's context. I think the clear way forward that's jumping out at me is to practice putting myself into social situations where I do remember to stand back, lean back, and have things come to me as opposed to me going at someone. I need to practice being the way I want to be. I think that's a pretty good lesson from that, and relating it back to today. Okay, I think we're really over time, so we're just going to do gratitude real quick. Really grateful to my friend for inviting me out to that Wine and Cheese. I had such a blast. Really grateful to my other friend for suggesting the play. Oh, there goes the lights. And also, I am grateful for my health, I suppose. I'm very much in a position where I'm taking for granted that I can wake up at 6 in the morning and go out for a run. I did not do that today. I woke up, heard the alarm, sat there thinking, well, you'll regret it later if you don't go, and future you will thank you. And then I thought, oh, we'll take the day off today. And then I tried to go back to sleep, did not even go back to sleep. And just laid in bed for another 2.5 hours. So disappointed for that absolute waste of time. But hey, if I needed it, then I needed it, so be it. But grateful to my body. I'm looking forward to making use of it tomorrow morning when I go out for a run. And being grateful for my health and my ability to go for a run. Anyways, that is all for now. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, Ben. Cheers.